Everybody, welcome to Renovate series. Step 3, how to compare quotations for your interiors. This is the most important step, frankly. If you can do this, you're all set. So do look at step 1 and step 2 because they help to reach the step 3 where you will actually compare carefully, and the basis of your comparison is based in step 1 and step 2. So do that. Okay. We will get into what happens after you compare the quotations of your trusted professional and all of that. That's step 4. But for now, let's try to get into what are the factors that help you compare carefully and choose wisely. So the most important thing about quotations, right? Quotations have woodwork, civil work, mainly. So it's in a new house, it would be a 50-50 pie sometimes. Maybe if it's brand new, like from a builder, it would be a 25-75 pie. But still, you need to understand what goes into it. Now in woodwork, a lot of people tell you, we are doing it in engineered wood, or we're using HDHMR, or we're using ply, only marine ply. What are these things, right? Many people tell me, I want lamination. Lamination is different from laminate, is different from glass, is different from veneer. It's important to sort of understand this. So I know it's very technical initially, but when you understand it, you're in a better position to know what you're buying. So it's like, for the women out there, it's like going into a beauty parlor. If the person is going to ask you what color hair you want to do, you are going to listen carefully because you don't want to land up in a hair color that you weren't envisaging. Similarly, it's not very difficult to understand this. Do get into it because you're going to live with this product for the rest of your time in your home. Understand the hardware. Reason is that this really influences the pricing and the quality of the experience of using the woodwork. Understand what are the brands and warranties for other things like lights and paints and fabrics and things. And the crux of things, the sizes and the areas. This is where all the slips happen. People price for a very small cupboard. You were thinking it's the whole wall. People price for a very large area of floor, maybe double the flooring of your house. You should question them. How is that happening? So let's get right into materials, right? This is what goes inside all your cupboard, your bed, your shoe rack, your wall unit. This is the thing that's holding it together. All right. Now, a lot of international brands, a lot of online brands, a lot of Chinese brands, they are what is called engineered wood. It is a beautifully misleading word. Wood is only in the chips, and in case of HMR and HDF and MDF, they are actually little ground sawdust particles that are resonated together to form a board. So on the right hand side of the screen, you can see particle board, HDF, MDF type of thing. They're not even wood. They're not even sheets of wood. They have nothing to do with wood. They're just chips. Okay. Why does this matter? If you do your interiors for a 2 to 3 year life cycle, this is fine. That's an international standard. Internationally, people buy and throw in 2 to 3 years. Okay. In India, we use for 15 years. So we are looking for something that is going to last for the moisture and the wear and tear. What is wear and tear? Open and shut the cabinet more than 1,000 times, more than 10,000 times, right? That is what it means. Okay. Uh, how does that impact the strength? Now, if you have sheets of wood like the plywood on the right hand side, then the screw that is put into it has the holding capacity of the wood for that many years. Obviously, based on strength, the cost increases. So you can look at the cost indicator below. Boiling water proof and boiling water resistance, known as BWP and BWR. These are marine plies. Okay, you can see them by these bands of red and white alternate cores. They basically help to hold that screw really strong because they're actually sheets of wood. All right, they are the top of the line. Boiling water, B, boiling water. All right, then you get moisture resistant. This is a kind of commercial ply, pretty okay to use. Okay. And then you have commercial ply. This is what most carpenters use, frankly. There's even a scam that they buy commercial ply and you just put write marine ply. It's like a painted over thing, and they bring it and they sell it to you. It's a problem. Anybody who's giving you a warranty, you can trust their quality. But if it's just coming to your site and getting made, people think that that would be the better way, but actually that's not the better way. You can get ripped off if you're not careful. So you can see in the cost indicator, BWP, BWR being the most expensive. Obviously, they last for a longer time. They're built with much higher specification. Then you come to the commercial plies, which is moisture resistant, and then normal commercial ply. And then you come to all the engineering woods. What are those? HDHMR, HDF, MDF, particle board, and PLPB, okay, which is pre-laminated particle board. All of these engineered woods have a much lesser lifetime and they're half the cost. So if you are getting quotations which are half the cost, do look at the spec. Now there are a lot of finishing that is in the market. A lot of times you'll walk into fancy showrooms and you'll see this lovely glossy material and they'll say, Madam, also this is PU Duco paint. A very important thing about PU and Duco paint, they only look great on MDF, HDF. All right. So you can see that, that powdery sawdust kind of material right below this. It's an awesome deal for anybody selling you PU. They will sell you a poorer core and a higher finish, and obviously the margins are better. It's a lovely material. You'll find it in most showrooms, but as I explained in the previous slide, they are not better core materials. Now, laminate for mica sun mica, which is what we all are used to, is changed and evolved. It has been the most developed finished material in the past 5 years. You get beautiful textures, you get very elegant colors and textures in this. There is a beautiful edge banding material, which is a PVC edge band, which is heat pressed on, and it's child friendly, it is pet friendly, it has soft edges. I personally think if you're going for a 15-year material, your finish should also last 15 years, all right? And usually this laminate is that material. It is scratch proof, it is easy to clean, it is soft on the edges. Only a carpenter can't get the edges right. You get those sharp black edges, but anybody who is in the modular industry will give you a fabulous finish. So go with this if you're looking at a long term thing. You get lovely colors and textures, and I mean the plethora is fabulous. Now, an important thing is a lot of people go for veneers. Veneers get lamination on it. Okay, lamination is a kind of paint. All right, it's a kind of coating on top of it. So veneers are the most expensive. You can see in my cost indicator, glass is expensive. It also, all of these need maintenance. They are fragile. Their polishes need maintenance. Paint, Duco paint, PU is also paint. It does chip off. It does need maintenance. And then you get to all the plastic based sheet kind of materials, which is acrylic, laminates of different type, and the worst material out there, which is membrane. It's a kind of paper literally that is wrapped over an engineered wood, and you get the image on the left hand side with all this molding. It's called post formed molded membrane press. Do not get fooled that it is real wood. It No real wood is getting sold at half price. No free lunches. Do remember. There's many a slip here. Now, if you go for good German engineering, it's very different from local and Chinese. I don't think I need to, iterate on that. Within the German fittings, you have soft close, which are the really cool ones where you don't close it in the half mile, and when you open and close your shutter, it doesn't make that sound, and you don't have to tell everybody, here I go opening my cupboard. So the cool factor, the functionality factor is much better in the soft close as compared to normal. Usually people will spec the normal because everyone wants to give you the lowest quote first. We at Renovate just give soft close. If you are going to go in for a designer product, you should have a designer experience, quite honestly. Look at the cost indicator. Obviously, soft close is more expensive than normal, is more expensive than local Indian companies. There's some very good local Indian companies. And of course, that's better than imported hardware which is really Chinese. The heart of this entire story. When you will find quotations uh, and you start making a table, you'll find they vary like crazy. I gave the same list of requirements as you might see from guidance on our step 2 video. I gave the same requirements. Many people didn't even bother to give me the same requirements. Many of them gave it to me, and the cost is so different, which means that you need to read the fine print. You need to understand what is coming. Are you getting a cotton dress which has one silken button on it? So you need to understand how this goes. Let's get into it. All, make that list. This onus is only on you as a customer. Make that requirement list. Say, I want this, I don't want this. Yes, no, what size? Make sure all your vendors have the size right. If you have a false ceiling the whole house, the false ceiling area should be the same as your floor area. It can't be half, it can't be double. If you are looking for lighting, it should be there, it should be mentioned. It shouldn't be that you have to go and get your own vendor for lighting, but we'll give you the furniture. Then you should know, right? You should be aware. Similarly, for all these other items, if my kitchen is a 7-foot platform, I should have a 7-foot kitchen, right? If I'm looking at a sofa which is a 3-seater, I should have 3-seater across all my vendors. One vendor shouldn't be giving me a 4-seater and one giving me 2 double-seater. All the vendors should be giving you the exact same specification. I know it sounds so obvious, but as you saw from the slide just before this, honestly it won't happen like that. And if anyone is taking up this endeavor, they would have already hit upon this road. Renovate are very clear. Since we are a design company and we don't want to be designing over and over, we will bother to tell you which piece of furniture is being provided in which room. What is the internal material, the core material that I discussed? Is it marine ply? Does it have laminate on it? What is the finish material? What is the height and width and size I'm going for? And if it is a carpentry or a civil work material, what is that area I'm going for? The rate and the price. This is the most sane way of going about a quotation. All right. Very few people want to be sane because their aim is to give you something that gets their foot in and then boil you in it. But you know that aim is a very is a person who's looking from the money point of view. A good designer is really going to concentrate on design after the budget is fixed. We at Renovate are very design oriented. We want to fix that budget upfront and then start the design. And all you have to do is look at design thereafter. Now I'll show you a few. This is another customer. This is another vendor whose quotation we got, and I want you to concentrate on the finishes. One finish is walnut. No idea. क्या है उसका internal material? What's the internal material? Safety door, we don't know what's happening. No sizes, nothing. And shoe rack, completely different size. No internal material as obvious. And the pricing all over the place. What does this mean? When you get a quotation like this with no details, it's an imported piece. It's coming ready made and it's probably not customizable. Even though it's written custom, there must be 5 colors on it because there's no material, there's no core. Number 3, we found this to be a good other person giving a quotation. They've at least bothered to mention everything clearly, but still you'll see, and I want to bring your concentration to cabinet material. One doesn't have a core, which is surprising, and the one below that is a commercial ply. Now I want to look at shutter material. The first shutter material is commercial ply, but look at the second one. It's high gloss, but on HDHMR. When I have told them to give me everything in marine, still I get commercial ply and HDHMR. So why does this happen? Because all vendors in India are trying to get the foot in by being the lowest quotation. And it's your onus as a customer to make sure the specifications are what you want. Now, no one wants to get, a single papdi puri for an entire chart, right? So let's try to get all the pieces together. Have quotation number 4. This is a fabulous quotation because if you see the first one is solid wood. Wow, you feel I'm getting a great product. The second one is shisham and mango. Okay, mango wood actually is dubious, and it has a lacquer finish. First one is a matte finish, second one is a lacquer finish. Fabulous. The third one is again solid wood with some other finish, and the fourth one, this is the most important, is a particle board, and it has a separate finish. All the finishes are given and they don't match. One is some other color, one is some other color, one is some other internal material. Why would I want a mismatched room? Okay, back to making that table. Onus is on you. Please make this table. Try not to go in for the lowest price, lowest vendor. A lot of people, they just compare that top line. I got vendor 1 at 2 lakhs, I got vendor 2 at 3 lakhs, I got vendor 3 at 5 lakhs. 5 lakh vendor must be mad, and 2 lakh vendor must be right. Okay, let me go for 3 lakh vendor. And it turns out that neither your 2 lakh vendor, nor your 3 lakh vendor, nor your 5 lakh vendor had all the things you wanted, and you were all over the place. And it gets into a point where you don't enjoy the house and you feel completely ripped off. That is not the aim of anybody's house and endeavor. So do this carefully, and understand what you're getting. Hope these are very useful to you and you can use it. For any queries, reach out to us. We are here to help you and here to design. So renovate with us. Happy renovating. Happy interiors.